We heard them when we were children. The story of the girl whose prince climbed up a tower using her long golden braid as a rope. The tale of the miller's daughter who was forced to make a terrible bargain with a nasty little man named Rumpelstiltskin. The brother who was being fattened up, and the sister who drop-kicked the witch into the oven. The Grimm's fairy tales are part of our childhood. Some have become animated films, and now an opera about the fairy tales and their collectors is being created. An opera written by Dean Burry of Gander. Burry has been commissioned by the Canadian Opera Company in Toronto to write the 45-minute piece. But that's really the happy ending to this story. Let's go back to the beginning. Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Gander, young Dean could not stay away from performing.
He was always a performer, you know, even in the house. And when he was young, he was always doing silly things. And even as a child, well, I've got him on tape now singing made-up little songs. And then his first stint with drama, I guess, except the little plays they had in school.
Dean's original play, Good Gods, won 5 awards at the Provincial High School Drama Festival. At Mount Allison University, he produced 3 pieces: The Resurrection, an oratorio, a musical called Joe and Mary Had a Baby, and an opera about the Royal Newfoundland Regiment in the First World War called Unto the Earth.
Years ago now.
Then he moved to Toronto to pursue his studies.
I came to Toronto originally. I was doing my master's at the University of Toronto in composition, finished in the fall of '96, and went on to a glorious coffee shop job on Yonge Street. Just about all that's available, I think, to someone with a master's degree in music. It's not necessarily the most lucrative of careers right away, but while I was working in that coffee shop just after I'd finished, I had a friend who was working here at the opera company, and I called up and said, do you have anything at all available? And turns out there was a job in the box office. So, you know, not necessarily the first thing that I was thinking of, but hey, it was work and it was in the building.
Getting his foot in the door was all Dean needed. He made contacts, showed people that he was more than a ticket seller, and was eventually hired to design and run the SO Kids after-school opera program.
Really, when it comes down to it, opera is storytelling, and that's you know, that's the basic principle. And so storytelling using dance and drama and music and singing is thrilling, you know, and it can relate exactly to what they're doing. Operas don't have to be about Venetian princess in the 17th century. They can be about inner city kids living in Toronto in the year 2000.
The child is not to blame for the actions of the mother. Please, let me see your baby.
So during this song, so remember when the music starts, scorpions go to the wall.
It wasn't long before Dean's talent for composition was noticed by the company. Paul Caston is the music administrator.
And for each of these programs, he's actually been constructing, with the help of the kids, small 5 or 10-minute operas that the kids, they give ideas to and work out some of the melodies with Dean, and then they're performed for their parents. So we thought this was a perfect background for someone to put something together for perhaps a more extensive audience. Also, Dean gave me tapes of and CDs of some of his previous compositions, and I thought they were quite promising, and for that reason I thought he should be given the opportunity to write a larger, more established piece, an opera in effect, for the school tour.
Last year they had Randolph Peters and Robertson Davies' The Golden Ass, which was Robertson Davies' last work actually, which was an outstanding new piece. And just to be sitting in the audience and watching a new Canadian work that was given the full, you know, multi-million-dollar budget instead of just, you know, a small pittance, was really exciting. I was thrilled when I was asked to do this production. I mean, I've been writing probably since I was about 10, and for most of my life, it's been very much writing for myself, and you know, once a piece is finished, we'll try to scrape together a few bucks to actually put a performance up. or get everyone dressed up in black and go into a room and perform this piece. So I'm very excited to be working with the Canadian Opera Company on a project like this. The Grimm's fairy tales, which of course include Snow White, Rapunzel, Little Red Riding Hood, Rumpelstiltskin, everybody knows them. So on one hand, you're coming at the kids from an angle that they're already secure in. They know what the story of Rapunzel is. They know what Little Red Riding Hood is. They know what Rumpelstiltskin is. But at the same time, the angle that I'm coming at it is more about the two brothers, Jakob and Wilhelm Grimm. Now, they published the first book of fairy tales in 1812. And first when they came out with it, it was very much, the Brothers Grimm were librarians. Now how's that for exciting heroes for a new opera? Scorpion's back by the wall, right? Let's sing too. Stop, you don't put your scorpions down, remember what you do.
He's intelligent, he's very musical, and he's got, I don't know how to put this. It's sort of a very good attitude about working with people, not, well, I'm the composer and I don't want any of my notes touched. If you come to him and say, look, you know, this might be just a bit high for this type of voice or a bit low, he's willing to take that type of advice and work with the singers. So I think actually he's got a very promising future. He's also got a very promising future in music theater. So it's really going to be up to him as to which direction he wants to go.
Dean, can you take the box off with you when you go? Okay, whose line is it? Livingston.
Now even Dean's mom has stopped worrying that he's chosen a path that will lead him to certain starvation.
I'm happy he's doing what he's doing now and doing well. But we still can't believe that our son is doing those things. And the things that people say about him, you know, still can't believe that our son is doing it.
I love singing, I love playing, but you know, as a composer I can play every instrument, I can sing every voice, I can sing 40 people at a time, so I think that's the exciting aspect of being a composer. You're not limited to your own squeaky voice. Somewhere in between, where do I belong?
And as we leave Gander's Dean Burry tinkling the piano keys at the Canadian Opera Company in Toronto, we can be assured that he will be composing happily ever after.